Welcome back, everyone. I am adding to my smart home, and this time I am doing a video doorbell. This one is the best one that I could find based on everyone's reviews. There was a few that I wanted to do, but they either didn't connect properly, they had issues. One of them that I was going to get has an overheating issue, but this one has the best overall reviews. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up, show you guys how to set everything up, and we'll get going. So we got this little box here, and inside this box, this is what we get. We get the actual doorbell, which is kind of wide compared to the other ones that I've seen. But you've got this, you got the physical button, and that's pretty much it. You've got the wedge, so just in case you want to tilt it so you can look somewhere. Batteries, since this one I think is the only one that actually comes with physical batteries that you can put in either as backup or its main source. It only lasts about 3-ish months. No rechargeable batteries. You can put in rechargeable AA batteries if you want to. A little bit of hardware, and this one is actually pretty cool. This is the hub for the doorbell, but it's also the little chime, so the ding dong that you get when you press that. You can change the different sounds and whatnot that comes through here. This, I'm thinking, is Bluetooth. It might be Wi-Fi, but basically sends a signal to this. For whatever reason, it does not come with any sort of wall wart, so you need to buy your own, which is pretty absurd. So I have to go find one that fits this. It's a 5-volt 1-amp. That is just going to be plugged into the closest outlet that I have to my front door, and I'll just set it up there so it has a close proximity. But before we get too far into setting this up and getting things on and whatnot, we need to get the app. That's how, I don't think you can just have the Apple Home app and just set it up from there. I'm not 100% sure. You might be able to, but I'm gonna get the app because that's how you update the device and that's how you get everything initially set up. So I'm gonna download that app and get things set up through the app. All right, so let's get this thing set up. On the right-hand side, we've got a little screw under a little rubbery flap. We're gonna take this screw out, and that should make so we can remove this back plate so we can either put in the backup batteries, or if you're gonna make those the actual full-time batteries, you can do it that way, and we can also get to the wiring. I am going to hardwire this since I actually do have a physical doorbell on my house already. Why not wire it and never have to worry about paying for batteries? I think that's kind of the best way to do it. All right, so I just backed this out, and you can tell when you do that it's actually being held in by a little spring. So this isn't going anywhere. This screw's not gonna fall out. It's being held in place. So now that we have that, we're just gonna slide it down like that, and then out. It just falls out. So now we've got all this battery room. And then right up top here, this is where our two leads, our wires from our doorbell are going to be. So I'm gonna go through both installations. Battery's pretty easy. Put battery in here. That's done. I'm gonna use these as backups just in case. Maybe not. Because if they're in here not being used for a long time, they'll corrode and then just destroy all the... Anyway, maybe we'll do that, but these are the main ones I'm gonna do. Back these out. So I got myself a little wall wart here, and...
Ready to connect. Please open the Aqara Home app.
Let's just follow those directions, shall we? All right, so this is my first time getting in here. Now I get to pick my region. I'm in the US, and now I guess I need to set up my account. So I do not have an account, so let's hit the sign up. Now we do the password. All right, so now this brings us to our home, and we can start adding accessories. All right, now we are connected there. We've got that solid blue light. Probably should have done this before, but I'm gonna toss these batteries in here just so we can get these connected together and paired and make sure everything's working before we actually go and drill this into the house. Definitely don't want to do that if it's not working. All right, you can see with that light, it was blinking. Now it's kind of a slow blink. We've got all the batteries in the back, so it's probably starting to connect now. So let's jump into the app, see what we can do. All right, now we are back here. Let's hit add accessory. So I just clicked on the G4 doorbell since it wasn't finding it by itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow these instructions. Yes, it already did that. I'm gonna connect it to my home. Now we get to scan it, and it recognizes doorbell, add to home.
Wi-Fi connecting. Please wait. The account is bound successfully. Welcome aboard.
All right, so it has bound successfully. So we are going to choose, I guess the hallway is where it's eventually going to go. I just have it plugged in right now, just to make sure everything gets paired first. All right, so we have added it successfully. All right, looks like it's trying to connect, and there I am. I am on the doorbell. Hi, everyone. This is my face, and this is also my ceiling. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Let's see if I can, hold on. Oh, there we go. Hi. See, a little bit of a delay, but what do you expect? It's a video doorbell. It's good enough. So what I'm gonna try to do now is make sure it is completely up to date. So we've got firmware update here, checking for update. There is an update available. So let's get this thing fully updated before we install. All right, update is successful. Well, now that we know everything works, I went ahead and unplugged that, removed the batteries, just because I won't be using them as battery backups. I'm just gonna have it hardwired into the house. So now that everything is set up on the software side, out of the box, ready to go, now what we need to do is get ready to put this on the house. And the only thing you gotta do is pop out this little piece right here, because that's where the wires are going to feed through the back of this. Also, this white stuff, if you take that off, it is sticky. And same thing with the wedge. It's got that too. So it's got probably like 3M tape or something on there. So I'm just gonna, well, that's kind of tough. I'm gonna pop this thing out, and let's jump to the front of the house and let's see what we got. All right, so we're outside right now, and we can see this is our regular old doorbell, and this is what it's gonna look like with the new one. So quite a bit more chunky, but I think putting it right there with the wires in the back, that should be decent enough to actually move that around. All right, so I just took the screws out. You can see the screws are just in the siding, and then on the back is just the regular wires. So I'm going to undo both of those. And yes, I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna turn the power off, and you should do the same. So this one's pretty simple. Just turned the power off, so we've got no light on here. We just back out these two Phillips heads and we'll have some loose wires for us. And once you remove it, we're just gonna back out the two screws there. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing as it was down there with those screws, is we're gonna take these, like this white one, wrap it around it like that, make sure it's nice and snug, and then tighten it down. So you can see we got those nice and tight on there. So now we can get this and place it where we need to, center it up, kind of move the wires, bend them down a little bit, and put this where we want to. Now, I might keep it like this, or I might put the wedge on there. Honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hold it like this and then check on my phone to see if that's a good angle. If not, I'll put the wedge in there like this and see if that's a better angle. And of course, don't be stupid like me and wire this up and forget the back plate. The wires have to go through this. Damn it. So after fiddling around with this for a little while, I noticed it'd be better if I did put that wedge on there, so it's getting more of, I guess, the walkway up to the house. And this one, it is very wide, so it's just getting like in my lawn. That's really not necessary. But something I really wish that I could change is me standing here at the door. If I was to knock on the door, I'm tall enough to where the top of my face gets cut off. So I'm gonna move this up as much as I can. It's not gonna be super helpful since this is here, unless I want to, I guess, reroute this further up for the doorbell and like fill in the holes. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put it up as high as I can, put the wedge on there, and then install it that way. So one of the things that I noticed here was when I put it straight flush on here, I stood back, it's cutting off the top of my head. So either I need to move it up, which I'm not going to be replacing siding or digging into siding or rewiring or doing any of that crazy stuff. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put this on here, and then when I put it flat, I'm going to try to angle it up. Not that much, but just to show you guys, I'm trying to angle it up just so it gets people that are, I guess, above like 5'10", 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, and it kind of cuts off the top of my head. So let's see how that goes. I'm gonna get a piece of foam back here. But right now, I'm getting this. I've got my screw put in through there. So apparently, I think this is how it goes. There is no instructions. You put the screw through here, and then through here, and that gets the wedge in place. And then you have to get this piece, and then you have to put the piece onto there, and then it's supplied with 2 little screws, and then the little screws go through that hole into these holes to clamp those 2 together, and then this one clamps on. It's a lot of stuff, but I think that's how it goes. All right, I got everything put into place except for the last screw, the screw that tightens up the whole back part, because as you can see, I put it on an angle, and it's not the easiest to get in there. So keep that in mind. You might have to get something smaller if you do have any tools in the house. I've got something itty bitty, a little stubby thing that I can get in there and actually tighten the screw in. But you can see back here, I might just have to take this out, paint it black or something. The little foam that I put back here, it's actually very solid. You can see that it's moving the siding before it moves anything else. But I've got the screw all the way up here and the screw all the way in the bottom. It's pretty much as tight as you can get without showing any holes or anything like that. So I've got it pointed up as far as I can and angled in. So this should be the best view that I can possibly get here. So as far as I know, if you want to do live recording, so 24/7 recording, one, I have it hardline, so I don't really care about batteries dying, so that's good. And then on the little thing here, so this is where I ended up putting the little doorbell, just popped up there. This outlet never gets used, it's by the shoe rack, obviously. But there's a little SD card up top. I popped in the SD card up there, and now I have access to constant recording. It'll just re-record over itself, just like anything else. All right, now that I have everything all done, we can go here into our camera, and boom, you can now see outside. I have everything all set up so you can see. Here on this page, you can go around and change a few things. So you can see where it says 1080, you can choose what to change there. That little icon that has the speaker, that just means that I can hear the person outside. So I want to make sure that I keep that on. So if they're trying to talk or something like that and they don't think they're going to be recorded, I can hear what they're saying, and it's also being recorded. And then down at the bottom, I can take a screenshot, I can record. I already have mine set up to record 24/7, so I'm good there. And then that little call button, that means I can talk on the outside, so I can talk to that person. If I'm not home, I can hit that and we can have a conversation. Then all the way here at the bottom, I can hit timeline, and where it says live, you can kind of see where that blue line is. That's where it started my live feed. That is when I inserted the SD card on the little doorbell thing on the inside. Oh man, this is a pretty nice place. I could steal a few things. Oh, I could steal that welcome mat. Oh, I got a video doorbell. Maybe I should,
Hello?
Hi. Is someone here?
How can I help you?
I'm here to sell Christmas decorations.
Oh, we're not interested, thank you.
Okay. So like I said, I have the Aqara Home app, and of course I have my regular home app, so my HomeKit stuff. It automatically popped itself on here. It just populated on here. I never had to add anything here, which this is the only device I've ever had to do that with, so that's fantastic. So this is the Aqara app, and something that I want to do now that I know everything's set up and it works is mess around with the settings and automations. So the automations on here, you can see it at the bottom. You can hit automations and you can actually set stuff up, but this is only for stuff that it's tied to. So if you want to do automations, at least for me, I go to my home app and I can do stuff on here. Like my porch light, that was on because I just went in front of the camera. So if you do your automations on here, when motion is detected, you can turn on the porch light. So if someone walks by or walks up or rings a doorbell or whatever, I can turn that porch light on if it's dark out. So I do have my automation set up. That's the same as anything else that you're gonna set up. So now I wanna do the settings. So we come into the doorbell and we can see my live view here. So I'm gonna go in the top right and we're gonna come through here and we can change a bunch of stuff. So we can go straight into here, we can change the name of it, the location, and a few other things in here. That really gives you your main stuff. And also in here, you can hit device settings. Now, once we go into device settings, this gives you a bunch of stuff. So you can see your signal. Mine's really good because mine's right next to the door. And then you can go into doorbell settings. You can see what power you're using. Since mine's hardlined, I'm using external power. You can choose whether to use the light. I have my device volume all the way up. I noticed that it was pretty quiet, like when I was trying to speak through my phone into the doorbell. It was pretty quiet, so I cranked that up and now it sounds really good. And here, SD storage, this is how you're going to do 24/7 recording. If you put an SD card into your little hub, you can come into here and you can hit recording mode. You can either have no recording, continuous, or only during events. We can also do power frequency. It's basically 50 and 60 hertz. That's if you have some sort of weird artifacts, and a high and low temperature alarm. And of course, we can do the ringtone. So you can choose out of 3 different ringtones, which is, they're all the same. They're just ding dongs. How loud it's going to be, which is something else I'll go over. If you have other devices, it will actually play the sound. So if you have a big house, that's very helpful. And of course, you can do a customized doorbell ringtone, which is awesome. And into video settings, this is just like the watermarks and stuff. I have that on mine. Detection settings, this one's pretty cool. You can set up faces in the app. I don't have faces set up yet, but you can do face alerts, loitering. If someone rings the doorbell, you can choose what stuff is being done. Push notifications, recording, etc. And then here, there's where you have face management. So you can add people's faces on here, so you can add them. So like if I put my face on here and add my face, then every time that I come up to the door or the doorbell sees me, it knows that, hey, that's Josh. Or if you have a spouse in there, oh, that's your spouse or your kids. So you can set that up as to being alerted or not being alerted because they go in and out often enough. Well, strangely enough, in your HomeKit app, you actually have a separate set of settings. Icon, we can change stuff here. So you can change the name here, you can change the room, accessories, blah, blah, blah. This is where I have my automation set, and then I guess whatever standard one it has on here, which is kind of weird. Like I didn't even set that up, can't delete it. Status and notifications, the chimes, the camera lights, you can change stuff here, but right here where it says status and notifications, this is something that is only on this app, which is not on the other, which is very strange. I want activity notifications, and I put here, specific motion is detected when people are detected. So whether or not it's a known person or unknown person, if it sees a person, I want a notification that someone has been seen. So I have that set up, and that's kind of the only thing that I didn't see on the other app, but you can also change the apps in here. Well, there you go, guys. You can see that it has been installed. I'm even getting notifications now just because I'm standing in front of the doorbell. I've already got this that just turned on because I'm out here. So hopefully that helped you guys out if you want to know how to install it and any sort of troubleshooting that you might come with. Like back here, me putting that phone back there just to get things set up properly and angled up. So hope it helped you guys out. I'll see you in the next video.